Thanksgiving over. Black Friday, a thing of the past. Thank God it is finally Christmas season. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ty, and today in this video, I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite Christmas movies that you need to check out this December. Don't get me wrong, some of these are very well known, but I think there's a few sleepers on here that you should definitely check out if you've never heard of them. But more importantly than my own picks, I want to hear what your favorite Christmas movies are. Comment down below. What's your favorite holiday movies? I don't care if it's Halloween, Easter, whatever. Let me know down below. What is the best Christmas movie also? That's something I definitely want to know. I got my sweater on here. I'm ready to go. Let's get right into the first one. Hold on. Before we get started, two quick things I need to mention. First of all, this top 10 list is not in any type of order. They're not ranked, nothing like that. Second of all, I have some honorable mentions that I feel like would be weird if I just left them off and didn't mention them whatsoever. The first being Polar Express. I just don't like this movie. I think like the graphics look weird. It just looks animated in an odd way. Not a big fan of this one when I was a kid, and even now I'm still not a fan. The second one and third one kind of go together. Miracle on 34th Street and It's a Wonderful Life. These are two Christmas classics that unfortunately I have never ever seen. I'm sorry about that. The last one I want to mention is just A Christmas Story. Honestly, this would be like my number 11. It just missed the cut, but I just like these other movies better. First film's pretty much just a layup. It's like the easiest possible one I could have mentioned, that being Elf. How could you go wrong with Will Ferrell just acting absolutely insane for like 2 hours over the course of this movie? It really encapsulates that Christmas charm. It's funny when you're a kid. It's funny when you're an adult. There are so many iconic scenes, like when, you know, he yells Santa, when he's singing in the shower with the girl, when he sees like the world's best cup of coffee and he congratulates them. It's so funny. It has a heart. And I've got to say, in a weird way, I feel like this is the PG version of Step Brothers, because he kind of has that odd dynamic with the brother that he meets there. And then you've got James Caan who's in here, and how could you not love James Caan? I mean, he's just great, so rest in peace to him. But overall, this is just such a Christmas classic. It's got to be one of the best. Getting into the second film here, I'm going to be honest with you. This is one of two movies on this list that aren't really Christmas movies, but I'd still consider them Christmas movies because they have a heart and they take place during the holidays. That movie is going to be Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Guys, if you have not seen this movie, you are absolutely missing out. This is peak John Candy, peak Steve Martin, and their banter back and forth. They just hate each other over the course of the movie, but they grow and they learn to love each other, or at least Steve Martin learns to love John Candy, because the hatred that he has for his character is absolutely hysterical. There are so many funny gags that they actually give time to like have set up, and then the payoff is so out of left field that you didn't even see it coming, and that makes this movie 10 times funnier. The end, oh my god, it's so heartwarming. And guys, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really want to pick and choose favorites here. This is probably my favorite holiday movie. And again, this is not really a Christmas movie. It's low-key, more of like a Thanksgiving movie, but you could definitely watch it during Christmas time. It's not like, you know, you'd really notice the difference. This is an excellent movie. If I had to recommend one movie on this list, you have to go watch this. It's an 80s classic. The third movie on this list is going to be Fred Claus. You've got Vince Vaughn in here. In my opinion, one of the most underrated comedic actors of our time, playing off of Paul Giamatti, who plays Santa Claus. And in this, they're just brothers, and it's kind of funny because Vince Vaughn is just the brother of Santa Claus, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go visit him. He's kind of like the underperforming child, the one that they look down on, because how could Santa Claus not be the favorite child? And of course, that makes this really funny feud. And I've got to say, there are so many funny moments in this movie. And I was just thinking, I feel like there's a trend here. There's always this dynamic, this feud between two characters in my favorite Christmas movies. In Elf, it's between Elf and then you got the brother. In Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, you got John Candy and Steve Martin playing off of each other. And in this, you've got Fred Claus and Santa playing off of each other. I feel like a lot of these great Christmas movies just tend to have this dynamic between two characters, whether it's a feud, whether they're just funny with each other, whatever, it doesn't matter. Also, the cast for this film, honestly, it's kind of weird because I was just looking back. It's absolutely stacked. You should definitely check it out. The fourth movie on this list, I actually just saw recently. That's going to be The Holdovers. This also has Paul Giamatti, just like Fred Claus I was just talking about, and it also stars Dominic Sessa, kind of like the co-lead in this film. I've got to say, it really pulled up my heartstrings. It was funny. It was very authentic. It takes place in, I believe, like the 50s or the 60s. It's definitely a more serious, dramatic film, but of course, it has a lot of charm to it. It does have its funny moments, and, you know, this is one where if you're looking for a more serious film, not like Elf or one of these goofy movies where, like, Santa Claus shows up, this is the one for you. It really dives into family and just, you know, what it means to people and how people, even if they're broken, can help other broken people. And I just thought that was such a great message. It's really worth checking out. It's super emotional. It's awesome. The next film here, how could I not mention it? It's gonna be The Grinch. Is that the official name, or is it How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Something like that. I honestly don't even know the name officially, but regardless, it's just Jim Carrey going insane, doing his thing for 2 hours, and also he's dressed up super funny. How could you not love that? I love all the stuff with Whoville and the way that everyone looks so goofy. They really played into it. It kind of feels like that Tim Burton type of feel where everything's just so wacky, and it has like a certain style, and I can really appreciate that. I feel like to an extent, Jim Carrey didn't even follow the script. They kind of just threw him into scenes and said, hey, just kind of respond to what these characters are saying, because he just does whatever he wants, whether it's his body humor, the way he's able to move his face, even with all, you know, the prosthetics that he has on, all that. It's just a very heartwarming movie, and I've got to say, this is easily the best Grinch movie. Definitely better than that animated one, which I wasn't a big fan of, but yeah, this was great. Listen, the next movie on this list, it's a bit of a guilty pleasure type of movie, that being Love Hard. This is pretty much like one of those Netflix Hallmark movies that my girlfriend was just like, hey, let's put on one day, and I was like, okay, fine. It's a rom-com that actually has a pretty interesting story. The name obviously is kind of playing off like Die Hard, and the fact that, you know, is that a Christmas movie? Is it not? I don't know, but you know, spoiler here, it's actually not on my list. But this movie's funny, it's charming, the characters are actually somewhat interesting. I've got to say, if you just want to try a different Christmas movie, I'd highly recommend this one. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix, like I said. Go check it out. I swear, I feel like I'm forgetting the official names of these movies. I don't know if I'm going crazy, whatever, but the next movie on my list is gonna be Christmas Vacation. Is the official name National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? I'm pretty sure it is, but regardless, the Griswolds are a family that I can relate very closely to mine. They're a family of 4 with a brother and sister. I'm a part of a family of 4 with a brother and a sister. Well, I'm the brother, but you know what I'm saying. This is just such a relatable, funny film. I've got to say, there are iconic scenes in this. Clark Griswold, Chevy Chase is just so funny in this. His wife's hysterical. The kids, even though they replaced them from the original, they're still great. There's iconic scenes, like when he's trying to plug in the electricity. It's funny. It just has that nice vibe, that 80s feel, and I feel like you just don't get that with Christmas movies nowadays. But yeah, also all the stuff at the dinner table, the Christmas tree, it's hysterical. When you've got that family coming over and you're just like, oh God, I guess it's that time of the year. It's just hysterical, man. Go check this one out. For some reason, my mic just stopped working, so just bear with me. I'm gonna try to speak loudly for these next 3 movies. Coming up next is yet another Christmas classic, that being Home Alone 2. I think this movie's way better than the first movie. I feel like the first one, yeah, the setting's cool. It's in like his Chicago, I believe, home. But when you take things to New York, where you have the whole city to play around with, they did such a great job going to iconic locations, introducing interesting elements to actually play into like using the city, and I thought it was great. Joe Pesci returning to his iconic role. You've got Marv right there with him. I forgot the actor's name, but it's just so great. Also, you've got the cameo from Donald Trump himself telling Kevin where to go in the plaza. Such a funny moment, but yeah, guys, this is such a great, iconic, amazing film that of course has an ending where in reality, these robbers would probably be killed by Kevin Straps, and it's always just so funny. But yeah, that's gonna just about do it for this movie. Guys, for my second to last selection here, I'm just gonna be real with you. I am cheating here again, but this is the last time. That's gonna be all the Harry Potter movies. Now, hold on. I know what you're saying. Those aren't Christmas movies, whatever. Who doesn't love a Harry Potter movie around Christmas time? Christmas at Hogwarts is pretty much shown in like every single Harry Potter movie. I don't know which ones it's not in, but it's like the best vibe ever. Straight vibes, nothing else. It doesn't matter if 90% of the movie isn't Christmas. It always just feels like Hogwarts takes place during just like that fall, winter time area. It's never like there's a hot day at Hogwarts. No. That's what I love about it. It has that family element where everyone has to stick together. Everyone loves each other. You want to protect the people you love. And they're also just the best damn movies ever. So why wouldn't you want to watch them during Christmas time? I hope you guys could hear me out, because who doesn't love when they go to Hogsmeade, snowy town? That's Christmas, right? Listen, I'm trying to cope here and like just give excuses, but yeah, I count these kind of as Christmas movies. I know that they're not, but yeah, these are just some of what I'd consider my favorite Christmas movies. Bear with me. The last one on here that is so worth mentioning and that is so relatable, especially as I'm getting older, is Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He is so goddamn funny. I love him to death. And it's not even like he's saying the most hilarious jokes. It's just the way that he uses his voice, and he's just so emotionless sometimes. And then when he does show emotion, which is somewhat rare, it's just so funny, where your stomach's just hurting from you laughing. This is a very simple premise for a movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger wants to get his kid a toy that's super hot right now, the Turbo Man toy, but it's sold out. So basically, he has to go on this adventure and see to what lengths is he willing to go to get this toy, and it brings him down such a funny path. And God, some of the sequences of this movie, especially towards the end, the side characters, they're hysterical, and I love this movie to death. Arnold, you're the GOAT. And yeah, that's gonna actually do it for our top 10 Christmas movies list. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Seriously, I'm so excited for Christmas season. Again, drop down below in the comments, what your favorite Christmas movie is, what your favorite Christmas movies are. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.